Hey everybody, it's Becky Boelter with Edina Realty. Welcome back to my back porch again. Today I've got a special project for you, something to inspire you to make for your own deck or patio. I have some awesome seats that were left behind on our porch by the prior owners of this property. There are 3 square chairs that I'm going to try to recover. I did try to recover them once just to see how the shower curtain fabric would hold up with the summer, and it held up really good all summer. Last summer it washed off with the dogs laying on it and everything, so I just wanted to make sure it could withstand our life here on the farm with the kids and the animals, and it would withstand the weather as well. So what I'm going to do today is show you how you can take some indoor furniture or something that you have sitting around on your porch like mine, and you can refinish it so that it can sit outside in the elements. This is the old fabric. It's actually not terrible and it's pretty sturdy stuff, but it does soak up a lot of water, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit more waterproof. For this project, you're going to need 2 shower curtains, 1 liner, and 1 fabric curtain. You're going to need a stapler and some staples. Make sure the staples go with your stapler. You also want to make sure that your length is correct for your project. So as you can see, I'm using 9/16, which is really ridiculous for this. You would only need about an 8mm stapler. So the first step I'm going to do is take this and flip it over on the back and make sure I pull out any remaining staples that are either going to be in the way of the new staples or that are poking out, because I don't want them poking through my new fabric. So something to note in your real estate transaction, if you're buying a house or selling a house, there is actually a clause in the purchase agreement that discusses things that may or may not be left behind. Once something's in there, it's binding unless changed. But basically anything attached or built into the property goes with the property. If you are a seller and you need to come back to get something, for example, you have some heritage flowers in your garden that came from people way down in your family, what you can do is write that into the purchase agreement, just stating that it's December right now, I can't dig these bulbs up, but in the spring, by June of this date and this year, I will have the garden bulbs picked up from the buyer. And that's super helpful, just because then you don't have to wait till June to close on the property if that's something that's holding up your transaction. Another thing to consider is if you're selling your house, let your agent know if you do plan on taking anything before closing, such as any built-in cameras or Ring doorbell systems, any special trees, shrubs, bulbs, anything like that. TV mounts, even your curtains and blinds are technically supposed to go with the property. So if you do plan on taking your curtains because your grandma made them, you either want to make sure all of that stuff is taken out of your property before you list, or make sure your agent is leaving notes for the buyer's agents letting them know the curtains are going with you, or the Ring doorbell system goes with you, all of that. So working with an agent who has knowledge and experience to bring your transaction to closing with favorable terms for you is key to making sure that you're not left with a bunch of the seller's garbage and you don't have to leave those sentimental items behind with the home. This is completely pulled apart. I'm back to this blue color from my test run. It looks the same as that one. There's not a lot of buildup or anything on it, so the shower curtain did a really good job protecting it. I'm not going to take the glue off on this. I'm just going to go right over the top because the foam in this is actually attached to it. So I'm going to clean up all of these staples and I'm going to move on to the next step. So what I'm going to do is lay it down flat. I'm going to fold it up as if I was going to wrap it like wrapping paper, and then I'm going to trim along the edges. Kind of like landscaping fabric, I'm going to make sure that the side you would shower on is facing outside. So the side that will be getting wet needs to be facing where the rain will be coming in. As you can see, I just left about that much for room for stapling, and I can go right around the other stuff to make sure that's also covered and waterproofed. Pull this out from your stapled end to make sure that's nice and tight. So get that tension going there, and then same thing this way. You're going to want to pull it out to to make sure it's as tight as it can be. We're just gonna fold it over and keep that tension going so it doesn't get any wrinkles in it. And then my first staple is gonna go right here in the middle again, and again work our way out to the edges. We're just gonna leave this corner for now and not do that right away, we'll do that last. So if you have never put staples into one of these before, it's super easy. Actually, don't hold it like this by your face, that's super dangerous. So there's a little gear right here that you push forward and it pops out, and you can slide your staples in right here. So as you can see, this is where the staples will come out right here. So you want to follow that down and then put your staples in the correct way. And then you want to use this piece again to put it back in, and then this locks right up into that little pocket right there. So when you hit it, staples will go flying out or hopefully into what you are trying to staple. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic tool, lots of uses for it if you are a new homeowner. Your staples will only need to be in about that far apart. I'm gonna have to hammer a few of mine in because I used staples with too long of legs. So that's fine, it's not a big deal, it'll still work and it'll still hold them in place. So here's my corner. It looks a bit funky. There's a few ways you can do this. You can start by pulling this side all the way in and tuck it in like wrapping paper. I'm doing this one-handed so I can hold the camera. It'll look nicer when you have two hands. And essentially go like that, folding this over. As you can see on this one, I just went to the edge and I cut right across here, left a little slack there. I'm just gonna pull this in and angle it, just like a gift wrap. It's okay that those don't match. Once I get it into a good spot, making sure I'm pulling it tight, I can fold this here, make it another triangle, and then wrap that corner in a straight line. And then that corner looks pretty good. It'll look a lot better once it's the actual shower curtain, but there's just a good idea to give you a sense of what it'll look like. So let me staple this here quick. So amidst all my mess, there's the beginning of what the cover will look like. Worked out pretty good. Just need to add the decorative curtain on top of this plastic because this isn't going to be very durable to sit on. So I've already folded this corner the same way like I did the other ones. I've got a little touching up to do right there, not a big deal. I'll get that fixed quick. This is just a quick wrap. I'm going to keep twisting and turning until I get it how I want it. Then I will cut all of the excess off after that. It's just a little bit easier to maneuver when I've got more stability to pull on to make sure this gets as tight as I can get it when I staple that down. So I just wanted to make sure that little wrinkle that was right there got smoothed this way and pushed in, and then I just fold this top piece over, and I can keep kind of turning to fold it in as far as I need to where I feel like it's at a stable point that I can just quick put a staple in. But I am a real estate agent, I am not a professional at this, but I don't think that looks bad for a do-it-yourself project. Everything looks pretty good. As you can see right here, I did get a little too much tension when I pulled and stapled. So just be aware that if you are going to notice that and that's going to bother you, then you're going to want to be careful about how much tension you put on it, and you want to make sure that everything's even before you staple it. So this is the before and this is the after. Not too bad. Looks much better. A lot cleaner cut, and will look a lot nicer on my patio. That's all I have for today. You're gonna enjoy these with our ducks and some nice outdoor movies.